Hey, we're about to start the show, and you know the drill. If you've been here before and you have something important to share, please add a capital letter Q to your comment. And if you are watching live for the first time, please let us know by writing the word new, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. Enjoy the broadcast. Okay, so you have me thinking this morning, and that's a good thing because sometimes I wake up and I'm not really thinking. I wrote, my first comment was Happy Monday, everyone. And I wrote that and felt really good about myself. But then I started thinking, is it Happy Monday, everyone, or Happy Monday, everybody? So I was thinking about this, and then I saw that David wrote everyone, and Judy wrote everyone, and Karen wrote everyone. So we must be onto something. Doug also wrote everyone. But now I'm thinking, can you say happy Monday, everybody? And I don't expect you to answer that question. I'll just do some grammar research. But if you want to throw your 2 cents, by all means, feel free to do so. Why? Because this is Coffee and Headlines, where we learn a little bit about language. We learn a little bit about our city, state, and country. We learn about Mexican culture. We scratch our noses and other body parts. We pet the cat that's sitting next to me. Her name is Luna. And we are here to primarily create valuable connections between ourselves, a community of English-speaking locals living here in Puerto Vallarta, and all the people and wonderful things that surround us. I hope you had an amazing weekend. I had a great weekend. I went down the new street. I tried a restaurant that I'd never been to, and I have photos and video to share with you. What else do we have for today? We have a bunch of interesting announcements. We're going to unpack another Mexican expression. And we have news, good news about the new highway from Guadalajara. So we might as well start with that. What do you think? So last week we reported that the new highway stretch from Compostela to Las Varas has been completed and is only awaiting final inspection. And it is opening for circulation within a few weeks. But now, authorities from Nayarit have confirmed that the new highway stretch will open to the public by Semana Santa. On a personal note, I will be traveling to Guadalajara the previous weekend, so I hope that this new stretch will be open so that I can report about it when I come back. And of course, as we approach Semana Santa, Puerto Vallarta continues to lead in hotel occupancy numbers nationwide with 83.8%. Now, between overall increased interest in our city as a tourist destination and the new highway stretch from Guadalajara, something tells me that this upcoming Semana Santa will be one for the books. We speak about this frequently so that you don't go a little batty with the sea of humanity that takes over our city during Semana Santa, and we will continue to do that, and offering tips on how to stay calm and collected as we get surrounded by a huge number of tourists that want to come and enjoy for a few days what we can enjoy all year around. Moving right along, it is only February. We've talked about this, and I think we're going to talk about this frequently. It is only February, but 6 states in central and northern Mexico are already severely affected by drought. We're talking about Aguascalientes, Mexico City, Chihuahua, Guanajuato, Querétaro, and Sinaloa. This has Mexico's government a tad concerned, given the fact that the water shortage can affect 21 million people's constitutional right to clean water. So aside from the increasing number of regions affected by drought as time moves forward, we can also expect the three branches of federal government to continue addressing this troubling issue with new law modifications and mandates to safeguard our very important natural resource. Authorities also report that the cold front that is currently affecting many parts of Mexico is moving away towards the Caribbean, so increasingly warmer weather can be expected throughout the week. Let's see what the weather forecast has in store for us this morning. And it's by order of the peaky fucking blinders, it's fucking sunny. Fucking sunny. That's what it says there. It is 23 degrees right now. Humidity is at 50%. And our weather forecast for today says that we're going to have a humid day with clear skies, a high of 28 and a low of 17. Then tomorrow, Tuesday, clear skies throughout the day with a high of 27 and a low of 17. And on Wednesday, we'll have a humid day with clear skies throughout the day with a high temperature of 28 and a low temperature of 17. And as long as we're discussing the weather, how about we unpack a weather-related Mexican expression as we get closer to the end of February and the beginning of March? Let us take a look at Febrero Loco, Marzo Otro Poco, which translates to February is crazy, March is even more so. And what is this about? Well, it's about the weather. It is so frequent that in Mexico, as we transition from the cooler to the warmer months, it is not unusual to experience unusual weather, such as the rain we experienced this past Friday during the months of February and March. Blame it on the planet, blame it on whoever you want. But the bottom line, if you hear the expression Febrero Loco, Marzo Otro Poco, you know it has to do with the crazy weather we experience in February and March. Now, this music appreciation presentation this coming Thursday, so many versions, the art of interpretation in classical music is shaping out so nicely, if I may say so myself. It occurred to me that for you to appreciate the art of interpretation in classical music, or the concept of fine-tuning this appreciation, think about a wine tasting or a tequila tasting. The only way to truly appreciate the subtle differences between one brand and the other is to, well, first of all, your taste buds should be in tune with these differences. Sometimes a helping hand can tell you what to look for. Sometimes a helping hand can tell you how to prepare your mouth to receive these flavors. So the question that I want to bring forth is, how do we become better at appreciating the subtle differences in interpretation in classical music? Well, think of our Thursday presentation as a little bit of a music tasting presentation featuring classical music examples. We look at some very amazing some very amazing versions of music and some very strange versions of music. We talk about the differences. We talk about what we can do to become better appreciators of great classical music. This is this coming Thursday at 5 p.m. at the Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work. I hope to see you there. It will be a lot of fun. And of course, Friday is our winter 2024 meet and greet at Whiskey Kitchen. I reached out to Gina this morning to find out if there's anything we should anticipate to get people excited about attending. And she said she's going to have some freebies and some special treats for us to taste. So I'm looking forward to it. And for those of you that have never been to a meet and greet, this is a great opportunity to meet some of the people behind the names that connect with Coffee and Headlines, either on a regular basis through our live broadcast or that are just followers of our cluster. So if you've never been, it's a great chance to meet new friends, make new friends, meet new people. So bring a friend if you have friends that have not been to a meet and greet. Please feel free to bring them along. And also this week, also on the same day on Friday, I found out that Noah's is having a sip and paint a tropical scene in canvas event at Noah's, and this is this coming 23rd, and it's going to be from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Let me give you a little bit of context on this one. Noah's, as you know, is a great place for breakfast and lunch in Colonia Versalles. We know that they recently expanded to open a bar, and they had intentions to keep it open at night, but it's been challenging for the nice people at Noah's to find staff to be able to do this, but this hasn't stopped them from taking advantage of their space during the afternoon and early evening. And I understand that one of the owners is an artist, and it is she who is leading these opportunities to paint and have a lovely glass of wine or drinks and snacks at the restaurant. So if you have something you'd like to do, if you're an artist, you can go to this from 3 to 6 at Noah's, and then you can, of course, go to our meet and greet, which is just a couple of blocks down the street. And then on Monday, a week from today, the local Puerto Vallarta Yarn Benders group, of which I am a proud member, we're getting together in the evening at 5 p.m. at Basilio, which is the pizza and Italian food restaurant located right at La Comer. This is the monthly afternoon get-together. There are other morning get-togethers. I don't keep track of those because they happen at the same time as Coffee and Headlines. But if you want to go and experience these gatherings of people that work with yarn, either crocheting or knitting or maybe even macrame, I'm going to leave you with the address for the Facebook group so that you can pursue it on your own time. And then we're going to talk about this bar leap again because we were very excited about this on Saturday. We got so much wonderful information from Miranda, one of the owners of Monzon Brewing, about this multiple bar event that will take place a week from Thursday from 11 a.m. to 11:45. You can start drinking early. There you go. It's 6 bars that get together to have a little itinerant experience, and all the information will be included in the event, which will be included in the show notes. Then, of course, we heard from the wonderful Gary Green from the Amapas Neighborhood Association. This is still far up in the horizon, a couple of weeks, but there's going to be this fundraising event that will take place on March 12th at 2 p.m. at La Huerta Barbecue and Grill. The event will feature live music by Monaco, the amazing band fronted by Daniel Celis, who's well known for his Elton John tributes at the Palm, and other musical ventures. So this should be a great event for the Amapas Neighborhood Association, which in my book and in many's book is the best, most organized neighborhood association in the city. They not only do a lot of wonderful things to take care of their own neighborhood, but they also go beyond their boundaries to do wonderful things for Puerto Vallarta. So there you have it. Now, I'm going to apologize ahead of time for the bumpiness of this video that I want to show you, but let me set this up for you. If you are traveling northbound along the Libramiento and you've come out of the big tunnel and you get to the final stretch, as you're coming down the hill, you can see whether there's going to be a lot of traffic or not so much as you approach Francisco Villa. Now, a few weeks ago, we announced that there's a new street that has been opened that is parallel to the Libramiento. It's a one-way street that you can take for that final stretch and avoid all the traffic that gets stuck at the intersection of the Libramiento and Francisco Villa. So yesterday, was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday I was coming back home with friends on our trusted taxi driver's vehicle, my tocayo. His name is Francisco, just like my name is Francisco. And I asked him to take this detour just to see what it was like. And of course, I'm going to show you a video that is very, very jiggly because the street is a mess, at least the part that has not been improved. But essentially, as you're coming down from the Libramiento, you see that there's a lot of traffic. You can take the first right, do a quick U-turn, and then enter the new street. And this looks like this. Again, we're on the cab, we've taken a right, and there is the DIF on the right-hand side, and you go in front of the DIF, tutti, and again, it's bumpy and whatnot because the street is crappy. And you pass the DIF. This is where the Saturday market sets shop, and I've been intrigued about what happens here now that this area is open to more vehicles. This is the one street that gets populated with vendors during the market. And here we're approaching the brand newly paved stretch, which incidentally, there we go. This should be a little smoother. This is a one-way street, and this car is coming in the opposite direction. Soon enough, you'll see a whatchamacallit. There he goes. It's a patrol that is approaching. It's clearly following the car that went into the street by going the wrong direction. It's a one-way street. Of course, the city has not put any kind of signs that indicate this, but they'll still try to find you, I'm sure. So there's been traffic along along the Libramiento, parallel to this street. And then we approach Francisco Villa, and instead of having to wait on the traffic light, all we have to do is take a careful right-hand turn and continue on our merry way. And that is what the new street looks like. Again, this may work if you're in a hurry. This may not work for you. But the one important thing to keep in mind is that it is a one-way street. Don't take it the other way because there might be an accident. And to wrap things up, I had a lovely, lovely dinner last night at La Cigale, which has moved to Versalles. And I'm going to show you, this is not quite a show and tell, but I took a bunch of photographs so that I could share the new place with you. And I am guilty as charged. La Cigale has set an amazing reputation for itself by way of, I think, 15 or so years in El Centro before moving to Versalles within the last few months. And guilty as charged, I had never been to La Cigale until last night, and I was happy to go for the first time. La Cigale is now located at the corner of España and Roma streets. I'm not entirely sure if they're in Díaz Ordaz or Versalles, because it's that part of the place where the two colonias are next to one another. But what is wonderful is that they have repurposed this beautiful corner casita that for the longest time seemed to be unoccupied. And as you can see, there is plenty of alfresco dining here. There were a bunch of people. The place was very well attended. And of course, given the weather we've been enjoying, this is perfect weather for eating outside. So there's plenty of sitting opportunities. And of course, the place, if you don't know it, they specialize in outstanding French cuisine, and it was just wonderful. There are several areas outside where you can sit, or there is a more spacious well, what used to be the living room is now turned into more eating space inside. And there are separate tables, and then there's this one set of tables where you can also sit. And opposite to that, there is a bar where all your cocktails and your wine is prepared is served. And then there is even a sitting area behind the restaurant, or in a patio in the back. So the place was absolutely beautiful and a great addition to all the wonderful dining experiences that we have here in Puerto Vallarta. We enjoyed foie gras that was out of this world. We enjoyed some French fries that were truly French fries. And then I enjoyed a vol au vent with chicken. And it was a great, great experience. We had a brief conversation with one of the owners, and she was telling us that they're really enjoying this new space, and they try to preserve the integrity of the original construction as much as possible. And I can attest to that. So if you want to see what a cute little traditional casita in Versalles looks like, and you want to enjoy an outstanding dining experience, I totally, totally recommend La Cigale, now in Colonia Versalles. And this brings us to our chit-chat section. Let's see what you are up to this morning, but give me a sec. Good to go. Okay, so comments. Many good mornings. Many good morning, everyone. I love it. Many good morning, everyone. Pudding pam pum. Hola, cluster from Sea Monkey. Cuetas y cuetas had no waiters. Ouch, that can be problematic. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Lots of good morning, everyone's. I love it. I'm looking for cues. Brian breaks the mold by saying good morning, everybody. And then, in his own opinion, tells us that it is interchangeable. And because I'm ruled my life by Brian, if Brian says it's interchangeable, then I believe it. Why not? Let's see. Boom, piririm, pam. Logan, who was having dinner with me last night at La Cigale, says he's suffering from pasta carbonara hangover. It was authentic French pasta carbonara. It looked beautiful and delicious. Let's see. Oh, that's right. This is the chalk. Such a complicated word. Chalk art walk in Bucerias begins tomorrow. We announced this a couple of days ago. So if you are in the northern part of the bay and you want to check it out, tomorrow would be a good day to do it. More comments about this, that, and the other. I'm looking for cues. Gary says, I ate there when it was by the church. At the time my friend was in culinary school. It was a slow night, and the chef came out and chatted with him about some techniques to French cooking. Food was delicious as well. Again, I've known this all along. It just simply, it didn't happen for me before, but I loved it. Rita, who lives around the corner, says La Cigale did a beautiful job of rehabilitating this decrepit building. We watched it fall to ruin for years, and now one of our favorite restaurants. Isn't it beautiful, Rita? I loved what they did with the inside. Uh, Yes, I am criticizing the bumping streets and the lack of señales of Puerto Vallarta, and shame on me. Absolutely, Robert. We keep it real here at Coffee and Headlines. This paradise has bad streets, bad plumbing, caca water, all kinds of things we love and hate, but we live here. We might as well make the best of it. Let's see. Arturo, I hadn't seen you in a while. It's great to see you, and I hope things are great in Canada. And this brings us to the end of today's comments. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you're looking forward to this week as much as I am. Lots of things to do. And as always, I thank you for supporting Coffee and Headlines, either through your memberships or through the occasional coffee that you buy just because you're feeling generous and kind. We very much appreciate that. So today, a day to continue preparing for the Thursday presentation and all kinds of other goodies that we're working on for this week. For you, I hope you start your week with the right foot, with a good attitude, happy to enjoy it, and I hope you'll be in touch with us sometime soon. Have a great Monday.